Hey, wait, don't scroll. I think this is for you. The Garden of Eden. Genesis 3. Adam and Eve lived in a perfect garden with God. It was wonderful. God had only one rule: do not eat the fruit of a certain tree. One day, a snake convinced Adam and Eve to disobey God and eat anyway. Because they had sinned, God sent Adam and Eve out of the garden away from His presence. So in the Garden of Eden, in the verse of Genesis 3, Adam and Eve is together with God, and they live in a perfect garden with God. And in this verse, Genesis 3, they had sin. Because God had only one rule. One rule. Do not eat the fruit of a certain tree. But one day, a snake convinced to eat the fruit and disobey God. And they ate the fruit. Because they had sinned, God sent Adam and Eve out of the garden from His presence. So the first people are Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 to 31, chapter 2 verse 1 to 25. So God wanted someone who could love Him and take care of the world. He created a man in His image, made him out of dust, and breathed life into him. God made a woman from the man's rib to be his partner so he wouldn't be alone. This first humans lived together with God. They were very happy. So this is Adam and Eve. But in Genesis 3, that is Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 to 31, and Genesis chapter 2 verse 1 to 25. In Genesis 3, this is Eve and Adam. Adam is eating the fruit. They ate the fruit, and because they had sinned, God sent Adam and Eve out of the garden away from His presence. This is the fruit that God is saying, that do not eat the fruit of a certain tree. This is the snake. The snake convinced Adam and Eve to disobey God, to eat the fruit. They ate the fruit and disobeyed God. So God take them away from His presence. Away from His presence. And God had only one rule. And they disobeyed it. They disobeyed God. They had sinned. I have an advice to you. God sent Jesus to the world. Jesus sacrificed His own life in the cross because we've sinned. We had sinned. If you steal so many times, just pray to God and He will forgive you. Don't disobey God because His plans are good for you. Trust God, trust Jesus. God sent Jesus to the world to save us. He sacrificed His own life in the cross because we've sinned. We have sinned. So spread the gospel, share the gospel to others before it's too late.